and it basically poisons your brain for like multiple days. And the science shows, and I want you to keep this in mind, that if you have any more than two beers a week, that is going to be detrimental to your brain function for the rest of the week. When I heard this, I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, in the UK, 2 beers is pre-drinks to the pre-drinks. So pretty much from the ages of about 17 to 21, I have been drinking every single weekend of my life, drinking quite a lot of alcohol, like some weekends a lot, some weekends not as much, but pretty consistently every week just drinking alcohol, right? Because I was working for the weekend. That was the mindset that I was in. And in April of 2023 to July of 2023, so about 3-month period, I didn't drink any alcohol whatsoever, went completely sober, which was so weird for me because like in my family, it's really common to just drink. Like it's really normal. Like that's just something that we do. And especially in the UK as well. If you're from the UK, you'll understand that it's just such a big culture just to drink literally every day, right? My parents drink every day. And it's just such a normal thing in my family to drink alcohol. And it was really when I first started watching Iman Gadzhi. Now, if you don't know who Iman Gadzhi is, he's a business, finance YouTuber, entrepreneur who is very successful. And I started watching his YouTube videos and got introduced to him from Hamza, I believe, when Hamza went to go see him. And this was early on in my self-improvement journey. Started watching him and I enjoyed his content, thought it was really valuable for me and it really helped me. And one of the things that Iman talks about is when he was setting up his businesses, or his first business, he didn't drink alcohol. And it was one of his kind of mantras, I guess, was one of his most important aspects of his journey was to not drink alcohol. He even got like a tattoo that says like, I think it says, "My cup runneth over" or something. And it was to sort of remind him every day that he didn't need to drink alcohol. And I just thought it was really cool. And that's what inspired me to do the same thing. Now, at this point, in April, I had my YouTube channel, April last year, and I was working on it and I was trying to post more often. I wasn't very big at the time. And I thought that maybe if I stopped drinking alcohol every weekend, that would help me to post more consistently to YouTube and to be a better YouTuber. And so in this time period that I decided not to drink, one weekend, my mates want to go out and I agree. I go and meet them at the pub and I'm there thinking about what to order. This is the first time I've ever had to go to the bar and not get like alcohol. And so I go to the bar and I asked them, "What non-alcoholic beers do you have?" And they told me the list and I said, "Yeah, I'll get the Heineken or whatever." Got the non-alcoholic beer, tried it, thought it tasted really rubbish. And then, but I thought, I'm not drinking. I kind of have to drink this, right? Or I can drink like Diet Coke or something like that. And the next time we go out, the weekend after, I do the same thing. This time it doesn't taste as bad. And 3, 4, 5 weeks into this, I was going out with my friends just on like a Saturday or something and just got really used to drinking non-alcoholic beers and like Diet Cokes and stuff. And because I'd kind of forgotten what it was like to drink alcohol, like in terms of the taste of it, I started just to drink these non-alcoholic beers and just think they tasted fine. And it all went well. So in this video, I want to talk to you about my experience with not drinking alcohol, give you some tips if you're thinking of like going sober and not drinking alcohol anymore, and just the overall benefits of it for me. So the main benefits for me when I stopped drinking alcohol in this 90-day time period was I was able to become a lot more consistent with my YouTube work. And the main reason for that, I think, is because I wasn't experiencing hangovers on the weekend. And I don't know about you, but if you're super young watching this and you're drinking alcohol, you might not get any hangovers, right? You might be totally fine. And I was in the same situation where when I was drinking when I was like 17, 18, 19, I wouldn't get hangovers. I could drink a like fuck ton of beer and I would just like wake up totally fine, not experiencing any headache or anything. And as the years went on, and I'm 22 now, when I was like 19 and then 20 years old and 21 years old, I was drinking and I started to experience very bad hangovers. And it really does come quite quick with age. You'd be surprised how quick you'll start getting hangovers if you're like 18 now, right? And yeah, I started experiencing really bad hangovers, and the hangovers actually, they started off just lasting like the morning and then the whole day and then 2 days. And like if I drink now really heavily, I literally I can't work for like 3 days, right? I literally cannot work for 3 days. They're that bad. So the hangovers were causing me to not be able to work like on the weekends on my YouTube business, because I work a full-time job, 9 to 5. So it's really easy for me to get these videos created on a weekend. And it was like basically making it super difficult for me to create content on the weekend, because I would be having these really bad hangovers. And so that's the first thing that didn't happen anymore, because I wasn't drinking, so I didn't have hangovers. I could go out with my friends, drink loads of non-alcoholic beers, and wake up the next morning totally fine. Maybe a bit sleep deprived, but you know, not as bad as having a full-blown hangover. And the second benefit of not drinking alcohol was I just became like way more switched on mentally. So one thing I didn't understand about drinking alcohol that I actually learned from listening to an Andrew Huberman podcast was that when alcohol metabolizes in the body, it creates a compound called acetaldehyde. I think it's called acetaldehyde, and it's like what's downstream from drinking like ethanol, and it basically poisons your brain for like multiple days. And the science shows, and I want you to keep this in mind, that if you have any more than two beers a week, that is going to be detrimental to your brain function for the rest of the week. Okay, 2 beers. And when I heard this, I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, in the UK, 2 beers is pre-drinks to the pre-drinks, right? So in the UK, you go on pre-drinks where you have like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks before going out on the town, right? And then you actually start drinking. The 2 beers would be you driving like to your friend's house, having 2 beers with them, and then all of your friends going to the pre-drinks, then having beers, and then all of you going out on the town. It's like the fucking first step. So just having 2 is literally going to be detrimental for your brain power. And I literally was feeling this like kind of, I had this thought that, well, my whole life I've pretty much had more than 2 beers a week. So I'm probably running on like 80, 70, 60% of my brain power at best, and I'm trying to like build a YouTube channel. Like, I can't be doing that whilst I'm drinking. So that was another kind of benefit of not drinking, was this, my overall brain function just improved, because it's crazy, like 2 drinks a week. That's insane to me. Another really obvious benefit, it saves money, right? It's not as expensive to go out drinking if you're not drinking alcohol, right? You're just drinking like Diet Coke and stuff. It's like still kind of expensive, but it's not as expensive as buying alcohol. So I save money as well. And the last benefit of not drinking alcohol was it was easier to hit my fitness goals. So one thing is, when you get hangovers, you don't want to go to the gym the next day. It's going to impact your gym performance, right? You're not going to be able to lift as heavy weights. You're not going to be able to get to progressive overload as easy if you're experiencing a hangover or if you were drinking the night before. And it also just makes you gain weight, right? Alcohol's calorific, like beer especially, right? It's got a lot of calories in it. I think someone said that like in a glass of red wine, there's the same amount of calories in that as like a fucking donut. So imagine like my parents are having like 6, 7 glasses of red wine on a night. That's like just opening up a pack of like 6 donuts and just eating them to yourself like every night. So yeah, if you are drinking a lot, just be wary that it could be massively impacting your fitness goals. If your fitness goal is to like lose fat, build muscle, whatever it is, alcohol is probably not going to help in any of that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all the benefits that I experienced from not drinking alcohol for these 90 days. I remember I was able to just be way more like clear, and like I just felt better about things. It's kind of hard to like put into words, like for me to like articulate it, but I was kind of just living for the weekend, getting really drunk on the weekend, and then not being able to function for the rest of the week, only to just sort of go back and do it again on the weekend. And I feel like when I went sober for these 3 months between April and July, I just felt better about making YouTube content, and I just felt more on it. And since then, I have actually like had a few drinks recently. I'm not gonna like lie to you and bullshit you. I'm on self-improvement, so I'm constantly improving myself. But recently I have been drinking, right? I'm gonna be totally honest. I've been going out on the weekend, not getting super drunk, but tipsy, right? Pretty tipsy. And I've noticed it. It's had an impact on my ability to do this work, and I'm not proud of it. And I'm gonna improve it. So I can see the difference between when I was not drinking last year, which I wasn't drinking for a long time. And I will mention as well, this was the longest point of my life ever being sober, like before, obviously, since after being like 17 years old. So I'm proud of it. It's only 3 months. But actually after that July period, the reason I'm saying 3 months is because in July of last year, I went on holiday, drank there. But then after that, I was sober for another 2 months as well. A lot of last year, I was actually sober. Genuinely, but I can't in good faith to call the video like being sober for like 8 months, because it wasn't 8 months. There was periods in between where I was drinking, but there was like long spans of being sober. So I just want to put that in there. Like, it wasn't just 3 months that I was not drinking. So I can genuinely tell the difference between just the past couple of weekends that I've had, the past 2 weekends where I've been drinking, compared to when I wasn't drinking at all before. And the difference is kind of crazy. Like, I woke up this morning and just really struggled to get out of bed. And usually I'll have my routine. I get out of bed, I go for a morning walk, I go and get a black coffee, I sit down, I work. And this morning, it's been a slow morning, right? And it's just because I literally had one drink last night. I had one drink and I had 2 non-alcoholic beers. I was going to drink last night, but I just kind of thought about what I'd been doing recently in terms of drinking and just thought, I'll have one beer and then I'm going to go into non-alcoholic beers, because I want to get back into the routine of not drinking. I felt better on it. I felt prouder of myself when I wasn't drinking. So I'm going to get back onto it. And I'll, keep preaching to not drink, because even though I've been drinking recently, I'm not proud of it. And then just some final tips that I want to leave you to help you to be sober and to not drink as much alcohol is to, one, still go out and see your friends. Don't just not go see your friends because you're not going to drink alcohol. Because I do think it's really important as a young man, you've got to surround yourself with other like-minded young men, right? If you're just going to be by yourself, because you're not going to go out drinking or anything because you don't want to drink alcohol, but you're not going to see your friends as well, I think that can be really negative. I think it's really important that you stay in touch with your male friends especially and have that kind of lads time, right? Because there's so many other benefits that you get from that, and it's just gonna help you overall. But you don't have to drink alcohol when you're with them, right? I've had numerous nights out now where I have literally not touched a single drop of alcohol, and I've only had non-alcoholic beers and like Diet Cokes and stuff, and like lime and soda water and all this kind of stuff. And I've had a lot of nights out like that now, where previously I thought it would be impossible to have a night out without drinking alcohol. I've realized now it actually is definitely possible, and it's sometimes better because you actually feel better whilst you're on the night out. Another tip I'll give you is, just get non-alcoholic beers. I've already mentioned that, and Diet Cokes and stuff like that. Another really important thing, though, that I want to give you is the idea of drinking carbonated drinks. Part of the reason that we enjoy drinking alcohol, beer especially, is because it's actually carbonated. And there's been studies shown, and Andrew Huberman talked about this in his podcast, that if you can actually just drink carbonated drinks like sparkling water and like Diet Coke and stuff like that, these drinks actually kind of activate the same neurons in our tongue and mouth as like drinking beer does. So if you could actually just drink something like that rather than just drinking water, although water is important to drink, obviously. If you're on a night out, don't just drink water, because you're going to be very tempted to drink alcohol. But if you can drink something like sparkling water or Diet Coke or a non-alcoholic beer, something carbonated, that's going to help as well. And that's a tip that I've never heard anyone speak about other than Andrew Huberman. So I wanted to give you that because it does help. If you are on a night out, drink something carbonated, because the human body craves carbonated things for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. And the last thing that helped me to stay sober for this 3-month period and the 2 months afterwards and all this kind of stuff was nicotine. Don't go on nicotine just because I just said that, right? If you don't want to drink alcohol, I'm not saying to go into nicotine. I'm just telling you from my experience. I was already addicted to nicotine, and I feel like even when I was drinking alcohol, I didn't drink as much alcohol as some of my friends that don't use nicotine. And I really do think it's because I had a habit of going outside to smoke and come back in, and I was very slow at drinking my drink because I would often take breaks and stuff and go out for a smoke, which isn't good. But in terms of the nicotine I'm using in this period, the 3-month period of being sober, it wasn't like cigarettes. I stopped smoking and vaping a while ago, and I just use these nicotine pouches. They're like Zyn packets. It's not Zyn, but it's like that. And I just use that instead. So I think nicotine does help me personally with not drinking, because it's like another like substance, I guess. So I don't need two, but please don't go and get nicotine just to stop drinking, right? I don't know if there's any scientific correlation there, just my experience. So yeah, overall, I can strongly say that being sober, not drinking alcohol, was hugely beneficial in my productivity, the way I felt, my brain power, and it's something that I can really see a stark difference between the past couple of weeks, which is what inspired me to make this video. The past couple of weeks of my life, I've been drinking alcohol, and it has shown me that my brain isn't currently functioning. You might even be able to tell from some of the recent videos that my brain isn't actually functioning maybe as well as some of my other videos when I'm speaking a bit more eloquently. And in I feel like the past couple of videos, it's because I've been trying to record the days after I've been drinking alcohol, and I'm going to get back onto it. I'm promising you right now, I need to be held accountable, right? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to get back onto the non-alcoholic thing, right? I've got a holiday coming up in July. So between now and July, I am going to be sober, right? I'm going to focus, I'm going to grind, I'm going to get on the YouTube, I'm going to really push YouTube. I'm just going to focus on that because this is my mission, this is my purpose right now, and I can't be sacrificing that for short-term gratification from drinking alcohol. So yeah, I hope you got some value out of this video, mate. If you are currently drinking quite a lot of alcohol and you're wanting to stop, I would highly recommend it. I don't think it's a trivial decision to just stop. I think it's difficult, but I know you can do it, man. I know you can do it, and I hope these tips help. So yeah, with that, thank you for watching the video, and keep improving yourself every day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.